All right, we are live. I will give people a little time to show up and get here from Virgil's video, but wait like 20, 30 seconds. All right, I think there's enough time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our youth engagement series. Sorry, took a little longer, but we were having some technical difficulties. But I am drinking Virgil's Kool-Aid. I am ready to go. I have my two people here with me. We're all ready to go. Hello and welcome. My name is Chris. I am the prevention coordinator for Two Feathered Native American Family Services. I'm also one of our mentors, and I am the host for the show. We are back, and we will be back more consistently now every Tuesday at 1 o'clock or 1-ish, depending on where Virgil's going. I also have two of my coworkers, maybe three if he makes a special appearance, but I have two of my coworkers here with me. So I'll let them introduce myself. First is Amada. How are you doing today, Amada?
Hi, Chris. I'm doing good today. My name's Amada. Thanks for the introduction. I'm also a youth mentor at Two Feathers, and I'm excited to be discussing kind of a little bit on what's next after graduation. And we actually have a new youth mentor today too on our series. So I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Thanks, Amada. Hey, everyone. My name is Nation Richards. I also am a mentor with the Two Feathers Native American Family Services. And yeah, this is my first time on here with the youth series. So I'm pretty stoked, and I'm gonna pass it back over to Chris.
So for those of you guys who haven't watched this or have been watching Virgil's speaker series, this is more of a youth-driven, a youth conversation, let's say. We still want as many people as possible, but we are here for to talk about ourselves and the youth and have a little roundtable for them. This week, since our last video was about graduation, we decided to talk about what happens next after graduation and what we can do in the future after this school year is done. So that includes a couple different things. The first thing I will start with is just summer-wise, and now that your now that your school year is done, now that you don't have that stress on you anymore, we are going to talk about what we can do, what are good things to do, what are fun things to do, safe things to do for our youth. So the first question I have for you two is, what have you guys been doing this summer, and how has it been helpful to not think about school? Because I know that you guys have been doing that for forever. So I'll start with you, Amada.
For me, summer's been I've been doing well. It's a little weird, of course, with COVID and not being able to do anything in the first summer, kind of having to figure that in a way has been interesting, but it's also allowed me to kind of spend more time with the closer people that I have kind of around me. So that's been good. I took a year off in between my undergrad and grad school. So this last year I kind of was work, getting ready for that. But this summer I actually started a course too to prepare for my graduate class. It's just one statistics course, and I'm about to finish that up. So that's going to be really nice to enjoy the little bit more of my summer. But pretty much it's just getting used to this whole online forum too. I think lately it's been a little weird, but overall I'm still being able to manage my time more accordingly, and that allows me to get more use of my summer and outside. So that's been good.
Naish, what about you?
Yeah, so this summer, I've been pretty much just working, through the mentorship program. And this summer's got to be like the first summer that I've been on like the technology. Like this is the most I've been on technology like ever, I think. And so everything's so new to me, like I second everything Amada said. But this did lead me to be creative during this COVID-19, like it's going to be a little weird to say, but I'm kind of thankful that it kind of happened, just because it slowed time down for me, like I'm gonna go do a little project with my gram So that's going to be pretty fun. And I have not been able to sit down with her and, just talk about, some cultural stuff. And so I'm pretty stoked for that. But that's kind of like my plans, just doing something new, being creative. Yeah.
Nice. I know for me, this summer really important for me because I started my master's program and I had to try and like get through that type of school too. So I really did get a summer. And now that I finally finished the first semester, I feel this kind of weight off of my back. So I know that the kids who have gone through school finally feel that weight off of your back and you get to finally relax and have some fun. I know I went to the river this last weekend and probably got the worst sunburn of my entire life, which I loved because it had finally got a chance to get out of the house. I know that for other people who have finally done with, whether it's graduation or just done with the school year, there's this kind of weight lifted off their back. There's this, oh, I don't have to worry about this anymore. And I know for this time, this like time, the COVID-19 time, you want to be as least stressful as possible. So hopefully the summer can kind of leave you less stressful and more relaxed, put that way. So that kind of leads me on to my next question, which is like, what activities have you guys been doing for summer? What activities you think the youth can do for their summer, or what are ways that they can kind of stay off of technology? Because I know that they're all on Fortnite and stuff, and I'm terrible at Fortnite, so I don't want anybody to be on. What are ways you kids, youth, and us can kind of spend their summer? Maud, I'll go with you again.
So for me, as much as the whole technology has taken over our life, that's why I've been trying to find time to not do it. So I think it's just in my free time, I've been doing a lot more gardening. I got on the garden hype before COVID struck, and then everybody got on the huge hype of food sustainability throughout the virus. I've noticed. So every time as I got to the garden store throughout the thing happening, it was just more and more packed. And so I was happy I got on that a little early because I have a full-fledged kind of garden going now. But I would say too, like I've just been making time to just do walks, and I haven't been as active as I've necessarily wanted to. So I've been trying to find more times to kind of get out there and do a little more stuff. So like I went and did some stand-up paddleboarding the other weekend. I got to leave and just go with the family that I have close to me and go out. And that was really nice and relieving just to kind of get in the sun. Some of the times too, just being on this coast, I don't get to leave. And the sun here is not anything that you feel on the Salmon River or anything like that. So it was nice to get that little feeling. But I would just say, as much as you can, just get out there. And I would try to refrain from video games, but everybody has their way of like an outlet too. So I understand, like if that's your way to do that, but maybe just make time too to go and help somebody. Or that's one thing too, is the projects I've been helping my grandma around the house and trying to, as weird as it is, I take joy in mowing the lawn. So I've been mowing the lawn and doing that a lot more and making the yard kind of really nice and stuff. So if you can just take time to help your elders out too, I think that this is a good time for that with just projects too.
Nash, what about you? What have you been doing this summer?
So what I've been doing this summer is just swimming. Just going to the river, took my little brother, took some of my little baby cousins down there. I only know like 2 good spots, and like if people are there, I'm like, no swimming today. No, but just swimming. And like again, I said earlier, I was gonna do this project with my gram. It's totally something new. Like I'm not really too much of a professional on like the thing that I'm gonna do with her, which is like just recording her. But it's something new, So I mean, if a youth wants to learn something that they never even tried before, just go for it, like research into it, and then just go try it, because it's actually a lot of fun when you're trying to do something kind of new. And just taking that time out of your day to just go see somebody. I mean, obviously practice social distancing, yeah, or call them up, But yeah, it's kind of interesting that you asked that question, because I'm just thinking about everything with technology, and I'm just like, oh man, how to go away from technology? But that's the best answer I got.
I know it's hard getting away from technology. I kind of have the same problem. I just bought a Nintendo Switch, and that's like gonna be my life right now. I'm not gonna lie. I just beat Mario Kart, and now people tell me to get Animal Crossing, but I'm like so good with Mario Kart right now that I don't want to play anything else. So that's all I've been doing. Um, I know that I need to get out of the house more. I need to start doing safely doing more stuff. I need to go see my grandma. I need to go see my family. But this kind of time is time where you can start something new, and people are talking about this is a time where we need to shelter in place. Of course it is, but you can use that to your advantage, and you could use that to do something that benefits you and society, honestly. So next part of our conversation is about like when school does come back, or when you after you graduate, what you can do. And a lot of stuff with us is all through school based because that's what we're on and we're doing right now. But we want to talk also about some other types of alternative stuff you can do besides school once you're in summer or once you're graduated. So I'm gonna turn it over to you two and see like, is there anything the youth can do once they're out of school, once they're in summer, once they're graduated, that they can do to kind of be healthy, be a good role model, and to be like get them out of the house, honestly, because I know that's some people just need. So Ahmad, I'll start with you.
For me, I think again this is non-COVID related. Like imagine if COVID didn't exist, because this is kind of my advice in that sense, but it kind of goes around that. But for me, for like activities that I had, just having the little gap year that I did, it allowed me to work, save money, figure that where that's going to go. I also, everybody thinks of school is a way out. I personally see it as that way for me, but other people can do, there's trades, there's different types of traveling. You can be foreign exchange student. There's a lot of different stuff within education that expands a lot farther too. But I think there is just as much as you can find with like construction certifications. There's also different programs that you can get that aren't necessarily, that are volunteer. So there's a lot of stuff that you could look into too. And that was something that I got into, was a lot of volunteer work, because I was trying to find what to do with my time because I was so much into sports. And once high school ended, I was kind of like, what do I do with my time? Because I had the three, where I would do track, and then I'd go from, or actually I would do basketball, then soccer, then track, and all that. And so it was like summer continuous, never had free time. And I think that was something for me too, is just realizing you kind of have to make time for yourself. That was my time, but I was so much into it too. But I think there's also a lot of recreation sports too that you can sign up for. And so not necessarily that you have to go right into your degree or right into your job force. There's also time too to breathe, because I know necessarily when I was on my senior grind for high school, that was a really strong year for me. That was like a lot of scholarships, a lot of work. I didn't have a computer at my home, so I was staying at the library in Fortuna until like 7:00 and then leaving. And then I also didn't drive, so I was taking the bus home. I would get home in Eureka, because I went to Fortuna from Eureka because I ended up moving with my grandma. So it was just like a wild year. And so I think that you just taking time for yourself too in the midst of that would be my guess, to kind of figure out what do I want to do too, because a lot of people kind of can not necessarily force things on you, but they start questioning you, like what's next, what's your next move, what are you doing? And I think that gets a lot of people really overwhelming. Even just graduating my undergrad, my bachelor's, people were already asking me what's next, what are you doing? And I'm like, geez, let me enjoy my like undergrad degree first, listen, all that. But that's just my bet, is just kind of take a look at what you really like to do and take that time to maybe pinpoint that direction.
Nash, what about you?
Yeah, so I think the first thing you do when you leave high school is, just take a big old breath, like, pat yourself on the back, because that's a pretty big accomplishment. You had to go through 4 years of just doing this constant kind of schedule, kind of constant routine, and then boom, you're out into that big old world and you're like, well, what's my schedule now? What's my routine now? And then you got all these questions being asked, you know, you're asking yourself, but just, you know, take a big old breath. You did good. And one thing with my family is, you know, when you get out of high school, you're not just going to be laying around on the couch in the living room. You're either going to be working or you're going to be going to school. So, I mean, those were my two options. So I was like, I'll work for now. And then I kind of just like jumped into CR, did a couple classes and stuff. And then it's really crazy because you kind of just learn on your own, you know, you have all these people who tell you what their path, how they went. But the biggest thing for me was I kind of learned on my own. Like I learned that I can't take too many classes or I get overwhelmed. I need to have some kind of balance in my schedule, you know, like art. I'm a big art person. Like I draw, I paint, I bead. I'm actually working on a project right now. I'll probably show it to you guys when I'm done, but you know, just having that balance and what you guys love to do is so huge in life. And just don't let go of what you guys are so passionate about. So, I mean, that's kind of my little summary of what, yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you said just take that breath, because that's something, even when you're not graduating, even when you still have a couple more years left, once you're done with this school year, go take a breath. Don't think about things that are coming up. Just be like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm not going to think about school. I'm not going to think about what I need to do for a couple of days. I'm going to enjoy the fact that I don't have to go to school, whether it's online or in person. I don't have to see this teacher, whether it's online or in person. I just get to go and hang out and not have to worry about it for a little time. And then, like you said, find your balance, find something that you want to do during that time. I know, like Amada, my thing was always sports. Not even when I was graduating, it was just my entire thing was after school was done. I know that was AAU season. I used to go and travel with my friends and go play basketball 24/7. I used to train and I used to get tired. I used to go and like be at a gym all the entire day, and I loved it. Like that was my taking a breath. That was me going and doing something I love to do. So find out what that is, whether it's like they said, art, whether it's sports, whether it's bothering your parents for 24/7. I don't know what it is. Just find out what your balance is, find out what makes you happy, and find out what take your time to not do what you need to do. Like I know there's certain things you got to do right away, but take your time, take a couple days and be like, I'm gonna relax. I don't need to answer your question right away about what is happening next. I can take my time with that. That's kind of what this conversation is about, just because I know I'm hearing it all the time. Even now, I'm in my master's program and people are asking me, what are you going to do next? What do you have planned? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do this? What do you want to do? I just want to sit on my bed and go play a Switch for a little bit. I want to go to the gym and shoot some hoops. That's what I want to do right now. So take your time, find that balance, and relax. Don't be stressed out, because you're stressed out the entire school year. This is time for you not to be stressed. On that note, I'm going to stress you guys out a little bit, Amada Nation. I know that school is something that is always like really important. It's something that we have taken a hold of and try to help better our career. But I know that there are other ways of getting to that next step in life, getting to your career, what you want to do. So do you guys have any suggestions of stuff we can do besides going to school, or is school something that you saw your entire way, or just talk about just some stuff that we can do along the way next? Maude, I'll start with you.
For me, I am the first generation in my family to graduate from a higher education. So for me, I always had it as a goal, just because of that, and setting I also have younger siblings, and so I wanted to kind of set an example for them. That was originally my whole goal, but I also enjoy school. I enjoy learning. I enjoy doing different classes. I enjoy signing up for like the harder courses or AP, and then I was at Try Hard and PE and stuff like that. So it was just like, I enjoyed doing things and running the mile fully and exerting myself and being all gross for the rest of the day. And I don't know, just different things like that I enjoyed doing, but sometimes necessarily people don't find that within school. And one of my siblings was kind of not necessarily a fan of school. And it was always like sports. I know I say sports is kind of an outlet, but I think if you can find something that allows you to get through it at the same time and where you can have an outlet, that was really good for me because I think sports can go if you can get scholarships later on. Necessarily that leads to education, but not necessarily the route of that. And for me, one thing that I've leaned towards, again, it's kind of school related, but there's a lot of free even right now there's a certification for water protection. It's like advocacy, and I've been doing that program right now. There's a video, Kutcha did one, my uncle Julian and Aunt Lynn did one, and there's a lot of free even certifications out there that you can do and utilize for your ability for learning. Leave No Trace, Master Food Preservers, another one I got. And all of these are applicable to go back to even your high school and teach. I went back to my little high school and did a Leave No Trace just about what we should do in the environment and how to follow certain principles to make it last longer. But overall, it's just follow your passions, I think, too, because that's what led me. Like, I was interested in gardening, so I went and got a Master Food Preserver certification. I was interested in outdoor stuff, and so I went and got a wilderness first responder, and it was also gave me knowledge to be safe in the outdoors and safe in what I'm doing. And so it not necessarily wasn't something to further me in my career or anything. It was just to further me in life too. It was more of just like gathering skills that I know I can have. Even if I have this certification and it only lasts me this long, I have these skills for life as well as the resources. And so I was always joking when, I know it's not necessarily a good joke, but when COVID started, I was telling my like, if we need to ever leave or go somewhere or seclude, like I got all the backpack, I have all my stuff like set, like we can do tarp shelters, water purification, all this different stuff. But I think it's just good to have those skill sets too. And you can go learn how to, even right now is a good time. You can go and ask some of your family members, how do you necessarily, like for me, I want to learn how to completely like gut and do a salmon. My uncle's going to show how to so that's something for me right now because I want to learn how to smoke salmon and do all of that. And so just break down different processes right now because it's a good time to learn and take your skills for you right now, I think too. And that can further you in education because not everything's through a paper. So.
Very nice. Naish, what about you?
Kind of like the first thing that popped in my head, was like when I got out of 8th grade and started jumping into high school, whole nother game. And I had to kind of step up, and kind of pick up my mindset and everything. But, when you're going into high school or when you get out of high school, you got a lot of distractions coming your way. They just come out of nowhere. And so, we got so used to having just one way of learning, I want to say. That, for me personally, like just in the classroom, I thought that's the only way I know how to learn. But every opportunity is a way to learn. You see somebody down at the gas station and they're telling you a little story, that's learning right there. It's out of the classrooms that you got to really take in those moments. And also, building up skills like Amada was talking about. A lot of the stuff that I learned at previous jobs, I'm trying to incorporate into Two Feathers. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with this. I can mess around with like this audio or do this over here. And so it's kind of just building on to, your little portfolio of skills. And that would be my advice though, is to take every opportunity as a learning moment, because when is it ever going to come back up again? We can never say. But yeah, that's my answer.
Very nice. Yeah, those are both great answers. I know for me, I did a lot of stuff after I was done with school where I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was trying to find myself. So I only went to school to junior college because they let me play basketball and I was able to play a sport there. And after that, I was completely lost of what I wanted to do because my So my balance was gone. My sports was my balance. So now, and then I had to try and find something else I wanted to do in my life. So I went to job after job. I worked in a factory. I actually worked at the Tesla factory down in Fremont, California. I used to make Teslas. I didn't get one, so nobody asked. I wish I could have got one, but I worked at Tesla. I worked making labels for different stuff. I tried to find as many stuff as I could, or many jobs as I could, until I found a way of getting back into my what I really wanted to do. And that's kind of where you guys who are just graduating are going to find yourself. And you don't have to find out what you want to do right away, because no one's going to do that unless you're just extremely lucky. You can that's what I said, take your time, take a break, find out what you want to do, find out what path you want to take, whether it's the school path or whether it's a path of trying to find a job, or whether it's like some of my family did. They decided to take up MMA fighting, and now look at them. They're on the UFC Contender Series, and I'm trying to get them on this show. So if they're watching, please come on the show. But anyways, they have found their path, and it took them a while. So it took me a while. Just take your time, find out what you want to do, and you're what's next doesn't have to happen right now. It could happen whenever you're ready for it to happen. So I know we only been on for a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of wrap this up by saying, by having you guys answer the last question is, what resources can you think you can tell kids that are looking for their right path, or looking to find out where they want to do next, whether it's just for the summer or whether it's for graduation and what comes next? Ahmad, I'll go with you.
For me, what I did, just because I didn't necessarily have, I entered into my schooling with undecided, not knowing what I really wanted to do. So if school is kind of what you're thinking of, but you honestly don't want to go waste time or waste money, that was a big thing for me, waste time, waste money. I don't know what to do. Just take exploratory classes, look up maybe general ed courses, take some stuff that might interest you. It doesn't necessarily even have to build up to a degree yet. Just go, and maybe you can go take a class and it's like a boom, I want to do this, and you drop school and you go move somewhere else and fully and dive in it hands on. Like you never know really how opportunities strike. And I also think just taking up different types of jobs. I think for me, one thing that very much really helped me was building a very strong resume. I know that sounds very like, oh, resume, blah, 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 but I think if you have a solid, even just skill sets working for family, you do it for consecutive years, that's working, you can put that on your resume. And it's a lot of, I think I was able to get a professional service award it was when I graduated with my rec degree, and it was because of the volunteer service I did on my degree, but you're able to cite like volunteer experience as well. And so I just think just getting out there and doing as much as you can work-wise, volunteer-wise, of interest, as well as maybe possibly taking classes that explore it, and even look into possible fundings that can help you get to places. I was curious I looked into scholarships that kind of were towards health care, because that was kind of what kinesiology, I was looking towards that. Then all of a sudden I switched gears, but all of that scholarship money, you're still able to use that for your degree, even if you change your mind later. That's also a question that a lot of youth get, like, do I have to return the money later if I end up switching? It's like, no, you're pursuing a degree, you are saying you're using it for that money, but if you're undergrad or young, you never know, you're going to change your mind. And that was something that very much helped me. Is I don't know, it's just like gearing, and I switched my mind a billion times. You're gonna, like, I don't know if necessarily you will do that. Some people go in there like, I'm gonna do this, is like, one of my brothers is like, I'm on it, I'm doing this is what I'm doing. But for me, I kind of have to go out there, try it out, see, like kind of what Chris was saying, like testing out these different jobs and really finding what's for you. Because I think once you come into this adulthood, I don't know if this is just me talking from my personal experience, but in high school, I think everything's about trends, fads, what's new, what's everybody's business, groups, all of this. And when you kind of graduate, you see a lot of that get stripped away in a natural way. And I think it's healthy because you get pushed out of your comfort zones. You have to go out and try a job because you have to sustain yourself. You have to live and get money. Mom and dad and grandma and auntie aren't going to be giving you money here, tears there. It's not as genuine on or generous on birthdays and stuff, I guess, and stuff. So I think that was just really for me, is being able to find a job while exploring interests that I had. I think that allowed me to keep going in the direction to graduate and do that. But I think that would be my advice.
Thank you. Nation, how about you?
Yeah, so what I kind of start thinking about is when I got out of high school, the TANF program in Hoopa, they really helped me out to get summer jobs, and they paid pretty good. And that kind of helped me to go to CR. And it's kind of funny because I wanted to do business when I went to CR, because I totally thought, I could open up. This was my dream. My dream was to open up a pizza shop in Hoopa and just make different kind of pizzas. Like, that was my dream. And so I was like really for it, but then I was like, oh snap, I am not good with numbers. So I was like, okay, I'll change it. So then this social work, this pattern of me helping people kind of kept coming up throughout my life, like the last 5 years. So I was like, hey, I kind of like this, I kind of like working with youth, and I like helping people. So then I was like, this is it. This is the field I'm going to go into. And I'm going to give a little shout out to the CR staff at Hoopa branch. They really helped me out. They encouraged me. They gave me advice, and I'm like almost done with CR. So, I really got to thank them. And just the support of family is huge also. That's like one of the main resources, it's like, they're there for you to support you, and sometimes they're there to be kind of role models, the good or the bad. And also when you're just coming out of high school, you always have those staff who you just love. Those staff at the high schools that are family. They're gonna be there to help you out. I got a couple people who are still working in high school who helped me do appeal letters, because I'm not even gonna talk about it, but they helped me do like appeal letters to get me out of trouble. Some of them helped me get some scholarships. It's the community. The community is your guys' resource, and just don't be afraid to ask for help, because we all gotta ask for help. That's one of the biggest thing in adulthood is help. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Don't give up on your pizza dreams, Nation. We're gonna get you that pizza house. There's gonna be a pizza plant in Hoopa before you know it. But yeah, those are both great answers. I know for me personally, the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome once, not even once graduating, just my entire life, was finding out who I was and what I wanted to do. And when I was able to do that, I was really able to kind of get my career path going. And it was something that was hard for me to do. But the thing that helped me out was, like you guys said, getting back to your community, getting back to your culture, getting back to your roots, not only as an Indigenous person, if you are, but whatever you are. I know that I got back to some of my Black roots that helped me out where I am. Got my Indigenous roots, even my white roots that I did not know of. That kind of helped me out as well. Finding out who I was and who I wanted to be helped me get on that path. And I know that once you are able to find out who you are as a person, you're able to find out what you want to do. Whether it's being a pizza maker, whether it's being a social worker, whether it's hiding out in the mountains and being with your dehydrator and all this other stuff, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Just make sure you tell your parents before you go out in the mountains and get a dehydrator. So that's kind of going to wrap up our talk for this week. We will be back next week at 1 on Facebook, and hopefully on YouTube we can get that to work. Before we go, Amada, Nation, anything you guys want to say to the people? Amada, I'll start with you.
I'll go ahead and just say thank you to the guests for tuning in today, since it was our first official Facebook Live. We've been doing them on YouTube, but we'd like to make a more appearance on Facebook, since that's where a lot of the easy viewing kind of seems to come from. And I also wanted to thank Dennis Moffitt, just gave us a shout out for sharing some useful tips for the youth to do during COVID. And it's useful to hear other people's stuff too. I think just hearing your guys' suggestions on what to do too, because I feel like I'm kind of running out of things. But that's pretty much what I enjoyed talking about this topic today too. Just a nice refresher. But I'll let Nish go.
Yeah, thanks, Amada. I mean, I gotta say that too. You know, you're making me want to get more into gardening, and you make me want to get more up in the hills and adventure and stuff. And so I appreciate that, and I just appreciate you guys bringing me on today. And just a little message to tell the youth. You know, there's no one like you, and there's only one of you. So that's why you're so special to your community. That's why you're so special on this planet. Yeah, I just got so much love for all you guys, and thank you again. Pass it back to Chris.
Yeah, thank you guys for both of you guys for being here. Thank you everybody for watching. I know I can't really do a bunch of gardening in my tiny apartment, but I can cook a pizza, so that's what I'm gonna do right after this. Thank you everybody who watched. Thank you for everybody who is looking on our Facebook, looking on YouTube. We are also we have an Instagram too. If you guys want to check that out, it's Amadi, help me out with this. It's 2feathers_next_generation. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So make sure you check that out. We will have some stuff on there soon. Hopefully, if we can get it done. We're terrible with technology, but we are gonna get all that stuff down for you guys. Amada, you want to go? I know you have something you want to say.
Oh gosh. Well, we also have we're doing our little caravan spiel too this week. So we're going to be giving you guys of that. And then also just kind of spur of the moment thought, we're going to be stay tuned for a little bit of a garden project. We're going to be kind of doing a little bit of a collaboration with Cooperation Humboldt and bringing some gardens to families that are in need and stuff that are within Two Feathers and that could just need a garden or need to necessarily do that as we're speaking of gardens and popping them off. So I think that's pretty much what I got today. And we actually had some viewers, it looks like, from Sonoma County today too. So thank you guys for tuning in that far. But yeah, I think that's it for today. And if next week we will be here, hopefully at a little after 1, depending on the live situation. Sometimes it doesn't like to flow as planned, but we should be more consistently here at 1 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Thank you. And you are seeing our caravan. Make sure you guys check us out. If you are one of our graduates, be careful. We're on the lookout for you. We have gifts for you. We will be back next week. We have another great topic for you guys, and we will be here more consistently. So that's all I got. That's all we have here. We will also have other mentors on in the future, so make sure you guys check them out as well. So that's all I got. See you guys later. Bye.